Welcome everybody. Today I intend to discuss something very important. While learning the subject initially related to capital budgeting techniques, as many of you might be knowing by now that many of these techniques are based on cash flows, and this is the most important dimension that we need to understand. And supposing the problem before us is not reflecting the information about cash flow to start with, then the first step would be to find out the cash flows. Because unless we have the cash flows or cash flow information, we cannot apply the techniques. Whether these are like three important techniques which are definitely based on cash flows are payback period method, net present value method, and internal rate of return method. Now, of these three techniques, as I was mentioning earlier, that generally we classify these two techniques as one which are without discounting time and the others which are based on time discounting. So, of these three techniques that I've just mentioned, payback period method is a non time discounting technique, and the other two techniques, that is the net present value and internal rate of return, are based on discounting time. Also, at this stage, let me mention that there is also a modified version of this internal rate of return technique is available, which we describe as MIRR, or modified internal rate of return. The fundamental difference between IRR and modified IRR is with reference to the replacement rate, that we do not take, or reinvestment rate you can say. Reinvestment rate would be a, in this simple example, let us say the example is like this, that we are being given that the asset value is 10,000 rupees, also that it is, let us say, purchased at time 0. Okay, now, and it has a life of 4 years, so let me write it here as life 4 years. And information given to us is that profit is for every year 2000 rupees. Now, supposing this is the only information given, now we know from this information that cash flow information is not given directly. So we need to compute the cash flow information. So when we are computing the cash flow information, now we need to keep into account some of the important accounting policies and principles into it. Now we know that this profit, which actually is a net profit, is calculated after deducting the depreciation. And in this question, depreciation is not given, but we need to find out what could be the depreciation. And we know from our knowledge of accounting that if no information is given, generally we say the method of depreciation applied is straight line method. And also there is no information given about the scrap value. So supposing the scrap value is 0 and method of depreciation is straight line, so we know with a 4 years of life of an asset, and we use straight line method, the depreciation per year would be 2500 rupees. So let us say we write this amount of depreciation here. uh, that means we are in a way adding it back into our net profit. So we get cash flow for the year, which becomes 4500. So that means for next 4 years, we are saying Okay, so this is how for the next 4 years we have calculated the cash flow. So we have all the cash flows for the all the five cash flows, and this first cash flow, because it is a cash outflow, let us say we are saying that this is in the negative. So this is how we need to derive the information about cash flow given the information. Now let us take a different situation. Now supposing tax is also given, and to begin with we are taking a very simple situation of a flat rate of, let us say, whatever we can take, let us say it is 30%. Okay, so we know that this net profit which was given to us was net profit. Now we can assume because we are in a way constructing the problem also. So supposing it is given that this net profit is before taxation, so you need to apply the tax also, and therefore let me construct it on a separate sheet. So when I construct it on a separate sheet, so I take all this information on my new sheet by copying there. So with copy and paste I got this information. So now out of this net profit, which now I designate as before tax, so therefore I need to calculate my net profit after tax. Okay, so I calculate my net profit after tax, which will be, because this is applied as a flat rate on the income, uh, which is reflected as net profit. So 30% we deduct, so we get 1400 as our net profit. Now this depreciation we add back in the this depreciation we add back in the sorry for this spelling mistake. Okay, depreciation we add back, which is 2500, and so we get cash flow, final cash flows, which will be 1400 plus 2500, so we get this as 3900. Okay, now so tax information depending upon how it is given. Supposing the question says that some information is given as net profit after tax. Now again you have to work out the cash flows, which will be so because it is given after tax, so you have to work out the method in that manner. So from after tax, then it become in a way simple in the sense because after tax information is given and you just have to add back the depreciation. But supposing before tax information is given, then you have to also deduct the tax and add back the depreciation. So that's how these two things could possibly just mentioned, that this information is given as 2000, which is before tax. So I've done the deduction of tax and I've done the addition of non-cash expenses which were deducted from the profit. So that's how I get the cash flow of 3900. So in this problem, my final cash flows are 3900 for each of the 4 years. I'm taking it for each of the 4 years same. Had it been different, you have to work it out differently. But this is the most important first step, and many times when we are doing this learning initially, we we tend to forget that the information given is about net profit and not about the cash flow, and we work out the net present value taking net profit as cash flow, which is a wrong way to do it, right? So that is how I just wanted to convey this important. And as we have been learning about various techniques, it becomes easier now given the additional information. So what is the additional information we need now? We only need one important information now, which is the discount rate. So based on the discount rate, based on the time discounting and the rate given for time discounting, we have to work out the discount factor and we calculate the cash flows present value. So for each of these 5 cash flows, we calculate the present value of cash flows, and once we calculate the present value of cash flows, we get the present value of cash outflows, and we get the present value of cash inflows, and then we do the final calculation, which becomes the net present value. I think this is what I wanted to convey with this brief lecture today. And I stop here.